Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do something a bit different. I am doing a kind of first impressions one brand tutorial. I can't really call it a one brand though, because there's a few bits that I haven't got from this brand that I've actually had to include, like my face powder and stuff and my eyebrows. So anyway, I'm going to get on with it. I am doing Tarte one brand tutorial. I've even got brushes and see all this stuff, all this beautiful stuff. I've got the foundation, the concealer, I've got bronzer, highlight and blush, I've got mascara, lipstick and eyeshadow. So pretty much everything that you know, the main stuff that you need anyway. So I am going to do that. So if you want to stick around and watch, please do keep watching. Anyway, I'm going to go. Okay, so I've done my brows and the shit, so let's just not talk about them. But the first thing I'm going to do is my eyes today. So that's me all taped. I decided to do my eyebrows first just to try it out, because normally I just do my eyeshadow, but I wanted to see how I'd get on like doing it first and see if that like makes my eyeshadow any better, or, you know, placement wise. Anyway, that's boring. So I'm actually using today the Tarte in Bloom palette. I got this at Christmas time and I've still not used it, so yeah, I think I buy too much. This is what it looks like, and then if I can get into it, the inside just looks like that. So it's really pretty. It's the reason I like this one is because even though it's neutral, it's like a slightly warmer but not too warm, and you've got a few like shimmery metallic shades in there, so I like that. I did have the Tartelette one, which is right up my tree because it is purples, but it was just a bit too cool for me, and I'm not a total matte fan, and I could have just kept it and used it with other things, but I just thought I'll just pass it on because I didn't see the point of it gathering dust in my box. Anyway, I'm boring now. So I'm going to be using today the Tarte Rule Bender brush. This, I got most of my Tarte stuff from QVC in the UK, and every time you buy something from them you always get seem to have a brush in the deal, so I figured why not use it. I have brought my other brushes just in case I don't like this one, but I think I am going to have to use my own brushes just because of the fact that these are very thick and they're going to take over my whole face. So, but yeah, so that's the palette I'm using, and the first thing I'm going to do is prime my eye. So I'm just going to use the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea concealer. This is in the shade Fair. I'm just going to use this as my eye primer because I don't have another one with me, so blends really well. So that's the eyes all set. I'm now going to go into the Tarte in Bloom palette, and I'm going to take this colour here. This is called Smarty Pants, and it's just a neutral beigey colour. And I'm just going to put that all in my crease. I mentioned in my long video that I have hooded eyes, so I tend to go higher, just so I can see them a bit better. Really pigmented. They smell nice, random as that sounds. I'm not sure how I feel about this brush. Well, that blends really well. The only thing I will say I've noticed is I'm getting a lot of like, not fallout, but you know, like dust as you patting it in. A lot of powder's coming up. Right, so that's shade done. I'm actually going to take Jet Setter, which is this cooler tone brown. Even though it's in the same sort of like shade, with it being cooler, I'm just going to pop it underneath just to cool down the looks. I'm having a lot of warmth on the eye, so I want my outer bit to be a bit more like, not cooler, but I don't know what I mean. I'm going to go that dark on my lid, but I really like Funny Girl and I want it to pop in my inner corner, so I'm going to take Firecracker and I'm just going to pop that on the inner 2/3 of my eye. See how we get on. Ooh, that's nice. A lot more glittery than I thought it was going to be. Wow, they do not play well. Very chunky. A lot of fallout with this one, and it seems to have big chunks of glitter in it. I'm going to wet my brush and see if that makes it any better. I am not impressed with that colour at all. The shade's nice, but the actual quality of the shadow is shit, which is kind of disappointing really. Now, I'm going to take now the darker shade in the palette, which is Activist, which is like a dark, it's like a dark, really dark brown as opposed to a black. So I'm going to take that and put that in the outer crease. I'm just going to take Charmer just to soften the edges at the top. To be honest, apart from like the mattes, I'm not impressed with this palette at all. I think that Firecracker shade is just appalling. Right, so I've just had to get rid of loads of fallout underneath, so now I'm going to go on to the face. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Freedom priming water and I'm just going to spritz my face. I'm going to take the green corrector from the Freedom colour corrector palette and just dab it on my red bits. It's time for foundation, and obviously I'm using the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea foundation. My shade is in Fair Neutral. It's the only lightest shade they had on QVC UK, so I'm hoping it's going to be alright for me. And you got with that the Tarte, what they call it, double-ended foundation brush, but it's the foundation, it's the Rainforest of the Sea foundation brush with the funky gold detailing, and it's just a kabuki brush on one side and then a tapered one on the other. Now technically I think the tapered one is more for like your concealer to dab it under your eyes, but it might be a good contour brush, you know, 'cause it's so tapered, so I don't know. But we're just going to go, it's really soft is the brush, so I'm really excited for that. Oh, first before I go in with that, I'm just going to go in with the NARS, what are you called? NARS Pro Prime Instant Line and Pore Perfector. I'm just going to go on my nose because I want it to fill in all my pores and stuff. And I'm just going to do a little bit on my cheeks and just to see if it helps with the application. Give it a good old shake. 3 drops or more. It comes out in a big glug, so I've got that much anyway, and we'll see how we get on. Nice brush. The only thing I will say is the foundation has like sank right into it as soon as I've dropped it on, and it says you're meant to do that, and it's with the official brush. So I've lost a lot of foundation into the brush already. So I think what I will do is, instead of doing it with the dropper, I'm just going to like dab it on. Right, so that is one layer. I'm not a fan of the brush. I think it's a bit too soft. It doesn't, the foundation's like literally leaking all the way down to the white, and it doesn't seem to do much. It just seems to be bobbing it around. So I'm going to use my Real Techniques Expert Face Sponge or whatever it's called, and just dampen it a bit more. I'm going to use that and see if that gets me like a better coverage type thing. I mean, it is meant to be a pretty lightweight foundation, but from the reviews I've seen, they've all got like a full coverage out of it, and I think I've only got a light coverage right now. So I'm just going to dab. I mean, it's a really nice finish, but I can't say it's worth the price at the moment. And we'll see how we get on with this sponge. That's what that looks like there. I actually like the finish of it. I think it's a really nice foundation. I think it's faffy. It hasn't covered up my redness here, and I didn't do as much green as I should have done. And The brush is shit. I'm sorry, I do not like the brush. But it is a nice finish. I don't know how people have got full coverage though, I really don't. Either that or my face is just eating foundation, which wouldn't surprise me because it's on a diet, so it's probably upset that it can't eat anything else. I'm going to conceal now with the concealer and like do under my eyes and all that jazz, so we'll see if this perks everything up. I'm actually quite digging the little spatula thing, little doe foot applicator that it's got on. Nice shade. It's light, but it's not too pinky and it's not too, well, it's neutral basically, so need to state in the obvious, eh? Got that funky chemical smell when you open that one, but as long as the coverage is right, I'm not too fussed. Blends like a dream. Even better with a sponge. And that's that. I'm actually quite happy with that, to be honest. I think the finish is lovely. It's like a it's like a dewy finish really, and it's really nice, and I like the concealer. It does stick into fine lines, eye powder stuff, and that's like that. So before I do the rest of my face, I'm going to finish the eyes, and I'm going to go back into my chocolate palette. An e.l.f. blender brush, and I'm going to take that Smarty Pants, which was the first what colour would you call it? Brownie, well, light brown. Beige. Beige is what I called it. I'm just going to run that under my lower lash. And when I put my sellotape on, I left a gap so that when I do the smoky bit, it all joins onto the line. Then I'm going to take the Morphe 508 brush, and I'm just going to go under the bottom lash line with the dark brown shade that we used in the outer crease. Rebel, which is like this pinky colour, and I'm just going to like blend out that bottom shade just to make it a bit more smiggy. Mascara today is the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes. This was it doesn't look like the big one does, it's just a little sample like type size. I mean, I did pay for it, I got it from Sephora. I think it was like £6 to pay for this as opposed to £20 for the full one, but I wanted to see what it was like before I tried it, so you know, that's what I did. Ooh, I like that. E1 brush, I love this brush to set my face. It's beating my e.l.f. Kabuki brush. So, oh, and I'm using the e.l.f. the NYX HD thingamajiggy again. My beloved Morphe M527. I love this brush, it's amazing. And highlight, I'm going into the Tarte Park Avenue Princess set. Obviously it's Tarte because I'm using Tarte, and it just looks like that. So very pretty. At one stage it was like the thing to get, wasn't it? So we will bronze up our face. Use the highlight that's, oh well, same blush in the palette, it's just a pale pink, beautiful. And I'm going to take it with the Morphe E4 brush, and we're going to blush our cheeks. Well, that's pretty. I'm going to take the lightest shimmer shade, which is called Funny Girl, and I'm going to put that on in a tear duct. Right, so that is everything. I'm just going to do my lips now. Like duo lip things where it's the lipstick and the lip gloss. I'm going to go for the pink one today because I fancy wearing a pink lip. Oh, I'm going to take my hair out as well, so please ignore my fringe. It's called the Tarte the Lip Sculptor, and I think it's in the like Big Beauty or Bite Beauty or something. There was like a collection they had, but yeah, it's a lip sculptor and it just looks like this. So one side is gloss and one side is the corresponding lipstick, and I'm going to go for this pinky colour today. And that's that. It's the reason why I use lip liner, is because I'm sure I put lipstick on. And I'm going to put the gloss on because why not? And lip gloss is really lovely, and as always, as I thought it was going to, sorry, it matches perfectly. So yeah, so that's the finished look. If I do this. So guys, that's the finished look. I hope you've enjoyed watching. I have to say I've got a bit of a mixed review on what I've tried today. I'm really in love with the mascara, I like the lipstick, and actually the foundation and concealer have grown on me as well. Apart from the fact that I do not like the dropper applicator for the foundation, I have to say that I actually like the finish and I like what it's done. I just don't like the bottle it's come in. I think it should just come in a pump. But yeah, I am happy with that. I'm happy with the concealer as well. I do think they're kind of pricey for what they are. I do think you can get better cheaper ones, but I am enjoying it. I'm going to see how it wears today, and I will like sort of add a little like note when I'm doing my editing just to say if it wears well. But on the whole, I do like the foundation. The bronzer, like the Park Avenue Princess set, was really nice. I do think that's looking alright. And the highlight wasn't like a bam in your face like a Becca highlight. It reminds me of my Dior one. I can't remember what it's called. It's like a limited edition one, it's last year. But it reminds me of that. It's more like a glow as opposed to a full-on shimmer, you're looking at the stars kind of thing. But I think you can sort of build it up, and I do think it gives a nice finish, and I think it's very like daytime subtle glow, if that's what you're into. But to be honest, if you're into like the full-on one bam thank you ma'am type boom in your face, you might not like it that much. But it's a nice little set. I don't know if you can still get it anymore. I think the one on QVC now I think is a different one, but it's the same principle of the big bronzer and the half blush half highlight, so it might still be just as good. But yeah, anyway, I'm waffling. I have to say, like I say, it was 50-50. The foundation and the concealer are nice. The mascara's lovely. Really disappointed in the eyeshadow palette. I like the highlight contour blush set, but I'm not a fan of the brushes either. I thought the foundation brush seemed to soak up a lot of the liquid, and to say that that was made for the, you know, the Rainforest of the Sea foundation, I'm quite surprised at that. And compared to like my Morphe M439 brushes here, it doesn't even compare to it. So yeah, I wouldn't like go out on my way to buy those. And I think like in the US you have to buy them separately, so they're like, I think they're like $20 or something stupid like that. But yeah, on the whole I thought it was a good like thing, and this is like I say, the finished look. So do let me know what you think about it or not. And I'm not sure how this video is going to play out, because the way I was filming it didn't go how I wanted it to, and I kept forgetting what I was doing. I'm doing it like I was doing a voiceover, so I'm not sure how the actual start of this has gone to then know how my ending's going to be. So yay! But anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I would love that, and I will see you on my next video. Bye guys!